What's up, my people? It's Cat Sports again. Now, this is a sports channel, so let's talk some sports. Now, before I get started, let me give a shout out to the JBT community. Just Boxing Talk. We're a group of people that just love to talk boxing. And we're always looking for others to join us. And you don't have to have a podcast or a channel, anything like that. The only requirement is you have to just love to talk boxing. iBoxing Hub, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Cat Sports. Rise Podcast in the building. What's up, Rise Podcast? An honor to have you aboard as always. Appreciate you 1000%. Remo in the building. GP, Gregory Pratt. What's up, GP? Back for another afternoon of Boxing Talk. The Thursday afternoon version. So how's everybody doing today? You know, my panels have been having some fire conversations this week. What's up, Tim Layton? How you doing, Tim? Good to see you, bro. But I'm not bragging, but my panels are always on fire. But this week has been off the chain fire. Now, my channel is has an emphasis on boxing, but it is a sports channel, and anybody can bring up any sport they want to, anytime they want to, because it is a sports channel with an emphasis on boxing. Because there's a lot going on in the sports world right now. It's a great time to be a sports fan. The NFL season is winding down, headed toward the playoffs. And you know, the NFL playoffs, it's unlike any other postseason. I mean, you hang on every snap of the football, man, you know. And the NBA is rolling along, bringing us great basketball action every night. The National Hockey League is also in their season. And I always look at hockey players as incredible athletes, man. Look at all they do. I mean, they pushing the puck down the ice with the hockey stick. They passing the puck, receiving each other's passes, playing defense, and doing all that stuff while ice skating. Just incredible athletes, man. But then we got this sport we love called boxing, you know. And this past year, 2023, has been great, off the chart, man. I call it a throwback year. Because it reminds me of the years, you know, when I first started getting deep into boxing. Late 70s, early 80s. You know, when every year was like this. You know, big fight after big fight. Top fighters fighting top fighters all the time. But this year, 2024, we got coming in. Don't look like it's starting out too bad either, though. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at the schedule real quick. Because I looked at it about a month ago. Remember, I told you periodically I would be checking it, and you know, as they made changes to the added fights, and they have added some fights since the last time we looked at it. So let's take a quick look. Now, we don't have any fights this weekend. I've been watching old fights. I watched that Hagler Duran last night. That was a close fight. And like we were saying yesterday when we did the profile on Duran, he was actually winning in the 13th round. I learned something from that profile. I knew it was a close fight, but I did not know Duran was winning that late in the fight, man. Yeah. Hagler needed those last 2 rounds. And he came on strong and got him. Get a chance, watch that one. Watch Hagler Duran. Great fight, man. Great fight. Hagler put his foot on the gas in those levels because it was 15 rounds then, you know. And Hagler needed 14 and 15. And he put his foot on the gas and got him, man. Yes, he did. War. That was his motto. War. W-A-R. Yeah. He went to war. So you get a chance, watch that. No fights this weekend. Check that one out. The Thriller in Manila. Another good one was Hagler Hearn. It didn't last long, but I think that fight, it was only like 3 rounds, but it wasn't fight of the year. So that had to be bad. 3 rounds, win fight of the year. I think the first round was round of the year. But yeah, and then the profile today is going to be the mongoose, Archie Moore. Okay. But let's take a quick look at how 2024 is shaping up, starting out. And then, you know, we all waiting on an announcement from the face of boxing. I know I am. Yeah. Even the haters that claim they waiting on the face of boxing announcement. They know they are. They won't admit it. Bill Haney and all them people. They waiting. Yeah. And then Boots. Boots is due early in the year. So 2024 is going to be okay. You know. But on the 6th, January 6th, we got Virgil Ortiz Jr. making his return. It'll be his first fight at 154. I'm glad he moved up. Because his last couple fights, he was having problems making 147. Matter of fact, he didn't even have his last fight, remember? Stanionis, they called that off altogether. I think it was canceled like, 2 or 3 times? So I'm glad he's moving up to 54. And he's fighting Frederick Lawson. I don't know too much about him. 12 rounds. It says 10 or 12 rounds, so yeah. Then O'Hara Davies and Ismael Barroso. That fight was canceled. It was supposed to be on one of those cards earlier this month. I think it might have been the Benavidez Andrade card. Yeah, one of them. Then Arnold Barboza. His opponent is to be announced. And Barroso and Davis is fighting for the interim junior welterweight title. Wouldn't that be something if Barroso wins and get another shot at rolling? Just don't have Tony Weeks referee it with his cheating ass. And don't get me wrong, Tony Weeks is a good referee, but he cheated. You know, that man, Rolly threw that old man down, and he called it a knockdown, and then he stopped the fight when Rolly was swinging that air. I think Barroso hit him. Yeah, Tony cheated, man. Yeah. Then we got Sergey Debryanko. His opponent is to be announced also. We got Better Beeve and Callum Smith. The winner to likely get Bivol, who won his fight last week. We've been waiting on that one. I know I have. I've been waiting on that one for a long time. Better Beeve and Bivol. But I can't speak too fast because you see what happened to Wilder. So I'll just say the winner of Better Beeve or Callum Smith versus Bivol. You know, because Joseph Parker upset the apple cart last Saturday. But maybe not. Because, you know, I heard the Saudis still wanted to make that fight between Wilder and AJ. AJ is getting cold feet, you know. You seem like he would want it even more after seeing Wilder's performance, right? So that tells me he never wanted it in the first place. Wilder lost. So AJ see a way out. You know? Yeah. So Better Beeve or Callum Smith likely to face Bivol for the undisputed light heavyweight crown. One of the Maloney brothers on that card, Jason. He has the bantamweight title, WBO. He's going up against Saul Sanchez. Christian and Billy on the card. Yeah, talented young super middleweight coming up through the ranks rapidly. Yeah. I would like to see Billy and Morrell. Everybody's talking about Benavidez and Morrell. I would like to see Billy and Morrell. That would be a battle there. Two young stars making their way up the ranks. See, that's how they would do back in the day. Nowadays, they don't want to risk either one of the young stars taking an O too fast. So back in the day, they didn't care. Put them in there, But now, no, we can't have one of those young guys getting this early in their career. That's crazy, man. Put them in there, okay? Then the next week, January 20, you forgot a nice women's fight, Natasha Jonas against Michaela Mayer. That's for Jonas's IBF title, welterweights. Of course, 10 2-minute rounds because Mauricio BS. He won't sanction women 12 rounds. But that's for the IBF. But as long as the WBC is holding out, I don't think any other sanctioning bodies are going to make the move. They tested it with Serrano and Ramos, and both of those women did a good job. Showed they had the stamina, the skills to go 12 rounds. But as long as the WBC holds out, none of the sanctioning bodies are going to really make it official. Nah. So that title fight is 10 rounds, 2 minutes. And man, 2-minute rounds. Once you get started going good in that first minute, you look up, you got less than a minute left. Whereas the men get through their first minute, now you got 2 minutes to operate. But the women get through the first minute, look up, you got less than a minute left to fight. So, it just, it affects your strategy and everything, man. They need 3 minutes. What y'all think about that? I think the women need 3 minutes. I don't know the reasoning why they don't give it to them. Anybody know? I have no idea. They train just like the men. They're fighters. What are they trying to protect them or something? 10 rounds, 2 minutes. That's ridiculous. I think it is. Okay. So we got a couple British fighters. Jack Cullen versus Zach Shelley. I don't know too much about him. Super middleweights. For Cullen's British and Commonwealth titles. I guess you got to be British to care about them titles. I know I don't. No offense, man. And no disrespect, man. But I don't care about no British Commonwealth title. I guess somebody paying sanction fees to somebody for it, though. Anytime you get that word title, somebody paying sanction fees to somebody. So, they just invent titles. It's ridiculous. Okay, not too many left. January 23rd, we got some action from Japan. Some more of those Japanese fighters that refuse to come out of Japan, Taraji. He's got the WBC and WBA junior flyweight titles. I guess the Monsters is all their heroes, and they just like him. You got to come to Japan. You want this title. It's crazy, man. Take nothing away from Monster, but I would just like to see him, fight somewhere else. Do what he's doing in the States somewhere. Then I'm fully impressed. But as long as you're over there hiding in Japan, making everybody come over there, they come to you with a random drug test. You say you're not ready for the random drug test. Now you're going to tell somebody you're not ready to take a random drug test. Come on, man. Then it's not random, right? Yeah. For the Cool Boys fight, people showed up for the random drug test. Monster said he wasn't ready to take it. The random drug test. Come out of Japan, where you can't turn down a random drug test. Come on, man. Yeah, right on, Tim. Need those 12 rounds, 3 minutes for the ladies, man. Has anybody ever watched the women fight, man? You know, they get going that first minute. And like I was saying, you look up, it's less than a minute left in the round. It messes your strategy and everything up. You know? Yeah. But then I'm not even gonna read the rest of those Japanese fighters. No disrespect, but I don't care about them people scared to come out of their country and fight somebody. Let's skip right over there. Saturday, January 27th. Jamie Munguia versus John Ryder. Jamie Munguia is on the short list for Canelo on what do they call it? Cinco de Mayo or something de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo? Yeah. The short list is Jamie Munguia, Jamal Charlo, and Terrence Crawford. Not one has ever fought at super middleweight before. I believe this will be Munguia's first fight at super middleweight. Isn't that something? How does this man continue to do this? Fight fighters that's not even in his weight class, and he's undisputed in the weight class. Meanwhile, you got the guys that fight in the weight class, got to sit there and watch you bring up guys that never fought in the weight class and give them title shots. But those sanctioning bodies, they don't dare strip Canelo. They better not. They know what's good for him. All right. Then we got Gabriela Pandora, the Tower Inferno's sister, versus Christina Cruz for Pandora's IBF title. She's 5'9", fighting at flyweight, and that's 112. Wow. That sounds kind of unhealthy. 5'9", 112 pounds? Damn. It seemed like she would be in a higher weight class to me. I guess, 5'9", 112. Okay. And then we go into February. The big one. Well, first, they just added this one, February 8th, Tio and Jermaine Ortiz. All right. And that's for Tio's WBO junior welterweight strap. Should be a good one. Is it Ortiz's first fight at 140? I think. I always get him mixed up with the guy that fought Sergey Lipinets earlier this month. One that was dressed like Muhammad Ali. Kind of looked like Muhammad Ali, too. I can't think of his name right now. But yeah, Tio Primo versus Jermaine Ortiz. Them guys always, Tio, Devin, Ryan, Rowley, always on social media, whooping it up about fighting each other. Then they always end up fighting somebody else, every one of them. Every one of them. Tio talking about fighting Devin, Ryan. Now he's fighting Jermaine Ortiz. Get out of here with the BS, man. Come on. Okay, February 10th. Kona Walker versus Cyrus Patterson. That's from England. Welterweight, 10 rounds. I don't care about them. The more guys scared to come out of the country and fight somebody. Because they can do what they do over there, you know what I mean? Just like them Japanese fights. I don't mean to try to sound racist or nothing, man. I'm just keeping it 100, man. You fighters, go around the world and fight then, Don't just fight in your country, okay? That's all my point is, man, You got fans all over the world. That's all. I'm not racist. I'm just saying, man. Okay, then Friday, February 16th, we got Oshaki back in action against Abraham Nova. Now I was hoping Oshaki would fight one of the other champions at 130. 130, right? Yeah, junior lightweight. Joe Cordina, Navarrete. No, not Navarrete. Is he at 130? One that just fought Oscar. But anyway, I'm just hoping he would fight one of those other champions. Lamont Roach, the guy that just beat Hector. Yeah. You know. But most fighters fight the majority of their fights in the US. Okay? Most fighters don't fight the majority of their fights in Japan. See what I'm saying? Now, if Las Vegas and all these other places was in Japan where we have all these fights, then hey, I understand. But most fighters fight a majority of their fights in the US. Not just US fighters, most fighters. Come on, man. Stop it. Don't even try that, man. That's not no defense there. No, it's just not. Not gonna let you get away with that. Because it's not a defense. Most fighters fight a majority of the fights in the US, not just US fighters. Okay, Saturday, February 17th. Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. Heavyweights. 12 rounds for undisputed. Is that still for undisputed? Does Usyk still have the IBF? But that's the big one, Fury and Usyk. And then Saturday, February 24th, Alejandro Santiago. Remember he beat Nolito. Was that this month? For one of the belts that Monster dropped. He gone up against Yuto Nakatani. 12 rounds for Santiago's WBC title. Takuma Inoue, the Monster's little brother. He has one of the belts that the Monster dropped, WBA title at bantamweight. He's fighting Jeremy Ancajas. That fight was canceled from last month. So now they're having that. And this is in Japan. I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna go say anything. I'm gonna keep on going. And then Edgar Berlanga is back against Padraig McCrory. Super middleweights, 12 rounds. Oh, Edgar. He'll be eating before that fight, so he ain't got to bite nobody this time. And, yeah. He's with the Zone, Eddie, I believe. Thursday, March 2nd. Amanda Serrano versus Nina Mankey, featherweights. Another Jake Paul production. Jake is on the card. His opponent is to be announced. And that's all I see right now. Okay. Now the profile for today will be the Mongoose, Archie Moore. Yeah, Jay was saying this morning he fought till he was 70, but it was 50. Yeah, I knew he was old, but he fought till he was 50. Yeah. And he's the only fighter that fought in the eras of Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano, and Muhammad Ali. He spanned all three of those eras, Archie Moore. Yep, he sure did. The Mongoose. But how is everybody this afternoon? Ant McQueen in the building. Tim Layton. The Regulars. Rise Podcast. I just realized the Rise Podcast didn't have a wrench. What am I, crazy? They got one now. Damn. Sorry about that, Rise Podcast. You should have had a wrench the first time you came in here. My bad. But you got one now. Okay. Yeah. Lonnie Lee. What's up, Lonnie Lee? I know you're at the red light. Okay. Just getting off work, right? Good to see you on a Thursday afternoon. No fights this weekend. Yeah, you turned blue, Lonnie Lee. No fights this weekend, but there's a lot of good old fights you can watch. My suggestion for you is Duran Hagler, the Thriller in Manila, Duran Iran Barkley, Hagler Hearns. It was only like 3 rounds, but I believe it got Fight of the Year. That short fight. And Round of the Year. I think it was the first round. I'm trying to find Archie Moore. Yes. Yeah, I knew it, Lonnie. I knew it. We didn't have any pro box yesterday. No fights this weekend. Wow. But then we pick back up next week. We just went over it. 2024 starting out pretty good. Waiting on the announcement from the Face of Boxing. Boots. All them guys due early next year. Looking for Security to get back in there and give us a good performance. Expecting that from him. BN Boxing News. What's happening? Salute. BN Boxing News in the building. Probably been in here. BN Boxing News is always in here. He's usually in here when I come in here. Salute, BN Boxing News. How are you today? We're going to talk about Archie Moore in a moment, the Mongoose. The Boxing Menu podcast has entered the building. What's up, Boxing Menu podcast? You're just in time because we are about to start the profile on the life and career of the Mongoose, Archie Moore. Fought till he was 50 years old. Just like yesterday's profile, the Hands of Stone, Roberto Duran. Only reason he stopped because he was in a bad life-threatening car accident. He had to stop. If not for that, who knows? He might still be boxing. What is he now, about 70 or something? Yeah. And by the way, Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard became very close friends after all they went through, the three fights. Yeah. Three good fights in the ring like those guys did. What did they do? About 35 rounds. 15 in the first one. 12 in the third one, and about 8 in the second one. 35 rounds of battle. You can't help but to respect the guy, man. You know? Yeah. They're very close friends now. I've seen them at a couple fights in the past together. I mean, they weren't there together, but they just ran into each other there, and you know, those for the cameras and all that kind of stuff. Roberto kissed Sugar Ray on the cheek one time. Okay, let's look at the Mongoose, everybody. Ready? Archie Moore. Let me pull my chair up close. Take a drink of water, and then we're gonna go. That's good. Okay. The Mongoose, Archie Moore. He was born Archibald Lee Wright, December 13th, 1913. Okay. He was an American professional boxer and the longest reigning world light heavyweight champion of all time. He held the light heavyweight championship from 1952 to 1962, straight through. Wow. He had one of the longest professional careers in the history of the sport, competing from 1935 to 1963. That's 28 years. I did that for me. You know, I can't count that good. I had to figure it out. 28 years though. Wow. One of the longest professional careers in history of boxing. He was nicknamed the Mongoose. And then later in his career, when he got older, they started calling him the old Mongoose. Okay. He was a highly strategic and defensive boxer. As of December 2020, BoxRec ranks Moore as the third greatest pound-for-pound boxer of all time. Now, I don't know about all that. Okay. I didn't have him in my top 10. BoxRec got him number 3. He's okay. He also ranked 4th on the Ring magazine list of 100 greatest punchers of all time. 4th? Wow. That's quite an honor there. Look at all the punchers that's been boxers. You know, all the great punchers. They got Archie Moore as number 4. Ooh. Now, Moore was also a trainer. He trained Muhammad Ali, George Foreman. Matter of fact, he trained Foreman in the Rumble in the Jungle when he fought Ali. He also trained Bob Foster, Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, Bernie Shavers, and James Quick Tillis. Very interesting. See, I'm learning too. And I read this before. I didn't even see James Quick. I didn't notice James Quick Tillis the first time I read it. Wow. Isn't that something? Okay, let's move on. A native of Benoit, Mississippi, Moore was raised in St. Louis, Missouri, and grew up in poverty. Moore was denied a shot at the world title for 15 years and spent many of those years fighting on the road with little to show for it. He was an important figure in the American Black community. He became involved in African American causes once his days as a fighter were over. He also established himself as a successful character actor in television and film. Moore died in his adopted home of San Diego, California. He was 84 years old. Okay. Let's take this. Be quiet, chair. Chair squeaking. Let's take a look at the early life of Archie. What's up, GP? Oh yeah, I know you've been in here. I've been spoke to you. But what's up again, GP? How you doing this afternoon? I'm trying to get your son back on here soon for another interview. When we can get that arranged. Okay. Y'all down for it? Let me know. I'll talk to you about it. Early life. Born Archibald Lee Wright, the son of Thomas Wright, a farm laborer and drifter, and Lorena Wright. He always insisted that he was born in 1916 in Collinsville, Illinois. But his mother told reporters that he was actually born in 1913 in Benoit, Mississippi. I guess his mother would know. She's the one that had you, Archie. So I'm going with what the mother say, 1913. Okay. His father abandoned the family when Archie was an infant. Wow. Unable to provide for him and his oldest sister, his mother gave them into the care of an uncle and aunt, Cleveland and Willie Pearl Moore. Okay, that's where I got the name Moore from. And they lived in St. Louis. Archie later explained why he was given the surname Moore. He said it was less questions to be called Moore. You know, he was living with the Moores, so, you know, people were wondering why his last name was Wright. So he just changed it to Moore. Makes sense. That's what I would have did. He attended segregated all-black schools in St. Louis, including Lincoln High School, although he never graduated. His aunt and uncle provided him with a stable upbringing, but after his uncle died in a freak accident around 1928, Moore began running with a street gang. One of his first steps was a pair of all lamps from his own home, which he sold so that he would have money to buy boxing gloves. He later recalled of his stealing. It was inevitable that I would be caught. I think I knew this even before I did it, but somehow the urge to have a few cents in my pocket made me overlook this eventuality. After he was arrested for attempting to steal change from a motorman's box on a streetcar, he was sentenced to a 3-year term at a reform school in Boonville, Missouri. He was released early from the school for good behavior after serving 22 months, almost 2 years. Hardcore boxing news. What's up, Jay? Good to see you, bro. We just got into the profile on Archie Moore. Yeah. He boxed till he was 50, Jay. Yeah, that's still pretty old. Yeah. He went from the I forgot the man's nickname already. What was the nickname? He went from the Mongoose to the old Mongoose later in his career. Okay. Now, just got out of reform school. Oh, thank you, Boxing Baby Podcast. I hope you're enjoying the show. I feel like a boxing was a salute. I appreciate you, Boxing Baby Podcast. Around 1933, Moore joined the Civilian Conservation Corps, working for the Forestry Division at a camp in Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Determined to become a boxer, he decided to make his work at the camp a form of training. Okay. He later recalled that the other boys constantly kidded him about one daily exercise, standing upright in the bed of a truck as he drove along primitive forest roads, waiting until the last possible moment before ducking or weaving away from tree branches. Yeah. And he had a good defensive style too. Stand in the back of a truck, wait until the last moment before ducking or weaving away from tree branches. Wow. That had to be kind of dangerous. Okay, let's get into his boxing career a little bit. All right. Now, the captain of the camp allowed him to organize a boxing team. Okay. And they competed in Golden Gloves tournaments in southern Missouri and Illinois. Now, a lot of his fights occurred in a racially charged atmosphere. Now, he later described one of them against a white boxer named Bill Richardson in Poplar Bluff. Listen to this. I knocked him down with a volley of head punches about 1 minute into round one. His brother was the referee. The white boxer's brother was a referee, right? Now, he was furious at me and told me to keep my punches up. Since I had been hitting him in the head, I would have missed him altogether if I threw my punches any higher. But the referee said I had fouled him. I got steamed at this and offered to fight the referee too. I resolved not to hit Bill anywhere but in his head. In the second round, I dropped him again with the left hook that spun his head like a top. I heard a man in the audience say, "For 2 cents, I'd shoot that nigger." Yeah, I guess it was a racially charged environment. Okay, now, he retired a couple times, okay? This is a little bit about his first retirement and his comeback. He had 4 fights in 1941, and that's low for that time. You know, they was fighting 10, 15 times a year back in those days. So only having 4 fights, that's low. Moore had 4 fights in 1941, He went 1-2, lost one, and had one draw. The draw was against Eddie Booker. Was Eddie Booker one of the murderers roll? I got to check on it. That name sounds familiar. I think he was. Yeah, because a lot of fighters ducked them. By then, however, he had suffered through several stomach ulcers and resulting operations and announced his retirement from boxing. Okay, that's his first retirement. His retirement was brief. By 1942, he was back. Then he won his first 6 fights that year. See, his first year back, he had 6 fights. So I guess that stomach ulcer had something to do with him only fighting 4 times. That 41, okay. So he fought 6 times in 1942, including a second round knockout of Hogue in a rematch. In a 10-round decision over Jack Chase. Yeah, Eddie Booker and Jack Chase were members of the Murderers Row. I'm going to do a thing on them one day. They were a group of black fighters that were highly avoided back then. They called them Murderers Row. Even Sugar Ray Robinson avoided one of them. I believe it was Jack Chase. And they were so much avoided, they had to fight each other. And Archie Moore actually won a 10-round decision over Jack Chase, one of those Murderers Row fighters. He met Booker in a rematch and reached the same conclusion as their first meeting. Had another 10-round draw. So Moore was one of the people that was willing to fight the Murderers Row guys. In 1943, he fought 7 times, winning 5 and losing 2. He won the California State middleweight title against Chase, and then he lost it in the second round against Chase, both 15-round decisions. Okay? Then he had a third bout against Chase that year, and he won a 10-round decision. Okay? This chair is getting on my nerves. Doing all this creaking. Okay. The Atlantic Coast. Button cast. Okay. Yeah, 50J. Okay, but in 1944, he had 9 fights. See, that's what I'm saying. 11, 15 times, that was regular for them back then. So that year had those 4 fights in 41. It probably had something to do with that stomach ulcer. They didn't say, but yeah. All right, Boxing Hub. How you doing, out Boxing Hub? Who was the first one in the building? Salute. Y'all haven't checked out our Boxing Hub. He has a nice channel. He got a nice video on the aftermath of the Day of Reckoning. I watched it this morning. It's fire. Make sure you get over and check that out. iBoxing Hub. Yeah. He's the guy that we just started coming into the Hangout community, JBT community. And he has a fire channel. Big up from the UK. Okay. Oh, you from the UK? Okay. iBoxing Hub from the UK. Welcome, brother. Welcome to the JBT community. We are glad to have you aboard. Okay. In 1944, Archie Moore had 9 fights. He went 7-2. His last fight that year marked his debut on the Atlantic Coast, and the level of opposition began to raise. He beat Jimmy Hayden by a knockout in 5 rounds, and he lost to future Hall of Famer Charlie Burley. See, Charlie Burley is another Murderers Row fighter. So Moore was one of the people willing to fight him, but a lot of people avoided him. Now, in 1945, he won his first 8 fights, impressing Atlantic Coast boxing experts and earning a fight with light heavyweight Jimmy Bivens, a boxer that was not considered a hard puncher, who defeated Moore by a knockout in 6 in Cleveland. Ooh. He fought 5 more times that year, so that's 14 fights. See, that's what I was saying. He fought 14 times in 44. Okay. And he met, among others, light heavyweight Holman Williams, losing a 10-round decision, and then knocking him out in 11 rounds in the rematch. By 1946, Moore had moved to the light heavyweight division. And he went 5-2-1 that year, fought 8 times. He beat contender Curtis Shepard, lost to future Hall of Famer Ezzard Charles by a decision in 10 rounds. And had another draw with Jack Chase that year. And then in 46 was when he started complaining about none of the world champions would risk their titles against him. Remember in the opening, I said he went 15 years without getting a title shot. That's a long time. Wow. Yeah, there's iBoxing Hub's link, everybody. Go over there and subscribe to him. It's a good channel. I was checking it out this morning. Very good channel. iBoxing Hub, there's the link. Okay, 1946, Moore started complaining publicly about how none of boxing's world champions would risk their titles against him. He went 15 years without a title fight. In 1947, still the same, just a year of rematches with people that he had already fought without titles. He went 7-1 that year. His one loss was to Ezzard Charles, future Hall of Famer. He beat Chase again. That's like the 5th or 6th fight with Chase. Knocked him out this time in 9 rounds. 1948, he had a tight chance at the California Light Heavyweight Championship. He lost to Leonard Morrow. He got knocked out in the first round. Wow. Years later, he explained about that first round knockout. He said he had accidentally fouled Morrow, and he reached out his hand to apologize to him. But you got to protect yourself at all times. You know what happened. Morrow dropped him. Yeah. He fought 14 times in 1948. Ezzard Charles knocked him out again in 9 rounds. 1949, he had 13 fights. He went 12-1. 51, he fought 18 times. Went 16-1 with 1 draw. Went on the Argentinian tour. Fought 7 times in Argentina, winning 6. That's where he got his draw at. Okay. Then he went to the light heavyweight division. 1952 was one of the most important years in his life. He beat heavyweight contenders Jimmy Slade, Bob Dunlap, and Clarence Henry, and Clinton Bacon. Okay. He finally got an opportunity at 36 years old for a title shot against Joey Maxim. Maxim had just beat Sugar Ray Robinson by a technical knockout in 14 rounds, forcing Robinson to quit on his stool due to heat exhaustion. I remember that, yeah. I read about it. Against Maxim, Moore consistently landed powerful right hands, hurting him several times en route to a 15-round decision. After 16 long years, he had finally achieved his dream. The next year, he won all 9 of his fights, including a 10-round non-title win against then-fringe heavyweight contender Nino Valdez of Cuba, and a 15-round decision over Maxim in a rematch. That was the guy he beat for the title. He beat him the next time in a 15-round decision. In 54, he had only 4 fights. Fought Maxim again. He beat him again, another 15-round decision. Then in 55, he got 2 chances at the heavyweight championship, right? Against Rocky Marciano. You know who won that because Rocky never lost. November 21st, 1955, he fought Rocky at Yankee Stadium. The fight was originally scheduled for September 20th. Okay. And it was in this fight that Archie came closest to winning the belt. A surprise right hand by Moore in the second round sent Rocky down for the second and final time in his career, setting the stage for a legendary battle, but also creating controversy as far as shared memory. In subsequent years, Moore made much of referee Henry Kessler's handling of the pivotal moment. Okay. He describes in detail the referee throw. Rocky rose at 2, continuing a superfluous mandatory 8 count. Kessler went on 3-4. The mandatory count does not apply in championship bouts in 1955. My seconds were screaming for me to finish him, and I moved in to do so, but Kessler carefully wiped off Rocky's gloves, giving him another few seconds. He gave him a sort of stiff jerk, which may have helped Rocky clear his head. Moore admits to being angry enough at what he saw as interference. Blind as people with rage, he went for the knockout. Started going toe-to-toe with Rocky. Yeah, so he blames that loss on the referee. Because it says that in 1955, there was no such thing as a mandatory 8 count in championship fights. But Rocky got one, and he claimed he got more than 8 seconds. And the referee was jerking on him, wiping his gloves off. That's crazy. Okay. Bear with me for one moment. Okay, then after that, in 1956, Archie fought mostly as a heavyweight, but did not retain his light heavyweight title. Oh, he fought as a heavyweight, but he did keep his light heavyweight title. He was fighting in both divisions. He retained his light heavyweight title with a 10-round knockout over Yolanda Pompey in London. He won 11 fights in a row before challenging for the World Heavyweight Championship again. Okay. By that time, Rocky had vacated the title. But Moore lost to Floyd Patterson by knockout in 5 rounds. Yep. Patterson, yet another Hall of Famer, made history that night, becoming, at the age of 21, the youngest World Heavyweight Champion in history at that time. And that lasted until 1986, when Mike Tyson did it. 1957, he fought 6 times, winning all 6 of them. 58, he had 10 fights, winning 9, 1 draw. 1960, he was stripped of his light heavyweight title by the National Boxing Association, which became the WBA. But he continued to be recognized by most major boxing authorities, including the New York State Athletic Commission and the Ring Magazine. And the New York State Athletic Commission was pretty big back at that time. He won 3 out of 4 fights in 1960, one by decision against Buddy Tooman in Dallas. His lone loss was a 10-round decision versus Giulio Rinaldi in Rome. Yeah, I remember him. 62, the remaining boxing commissions that had continued to back Moore as the world light heavyweight champion withdrew their recognition. He campaigned exclusively as a heavyweight from then on and beat Alejandro Lavarante by a knockout in 10 rounds and Howard King by a knockout in 1 round in Tijuana. In his last fight of note, Moore faced a young heavyweight out of Louisville named Cassius Clay. He had actually been Clay's trainer for a time, but Clay became dissatisfied and left Moore because of Moore's attempts to change his style and his insistence that Clay do dishes to help clean gym floors. In the days before the fight with Clay, Clay had rhymed that Archie Moore must fall in 4. Moore replied that he had perfected a new punch for the match. the lip buttoner. Nonetheless, as Clay predicted, Moore was beaten by a knockout in the 4th round. Moore is the only man to have faced both Rocky Marciano and Muhammad Ali. Wow. Done something new. Archie Moore was the only fighter that faced Muhammad Ali and Rocky Marciano. Victoria Thomas. That's Mrs. Cat Sports, everyone. Salute, Victoria Thomas. How are you today? Welcome. Victoria Thomas in the building. After he fought one more time after Muhammad Ali, he knocked out Mike DiBiase in 3 rounds and then he retired for good. Despite retiring, Moore couldn't escape the limelight and received numerous awards and dedications. In 1965, he was given the key to the city of San Diego, California. In 1970, he was named Man of the Year by Listen magazine and received the key to the city of Sandpoint, Idaho. He was elected in 1985 to the St. Louis City Boxing Hall of Fame, and he received the Rocky Marciano Memorial Award in the city of New York in 1988. In 1990, he became a member of the International Boxing Hall of Fame in Canastota, New York, being one of the original members of that institution. 1990 was the first year of the International Boxing Hall of Fame, and a whole bunch of those old fighters went in that year. At one point, the oldest boxer to win the world's light heavyweight championship, he is believed to have been the only boxer who boxed professionally in the eras of Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano, and Muhammad Ali. He is one of only a handful of boxers whose career spanned 4 decades, retiring with a final record of 185 wins, 23 losses, 11 draws, and 1 no contest, 131 official knockouts. During the 1960s, he founded an organization called Any Boy Can, which taught boxing to underprivileged youth in the San Diego area. In 1974, he helped train heavyweight boxer George Foreman for his famous Rumble in the Jungle fight with Muhammad Ali. In 1976, he served as an assistant coach for the Nigerian Olympic boxing team. Actively involved in efforts to teach children about the dangers of drug abuse, he worked during the 1980s as a youth boxing instructor for the Federal Department of Housing and Urban Development, assigned losses to ghettos in San Diego and Los Angeles. I try to pass on the arts I know: self-control, self-reliance, self-defense, he told a reporter in the early 1990s. In the early 1990s, he again worked as a trainer for George Foreman. Okay. So he was with Foreman when he made his comeback, too. His personal life. Archie Moore had 3 daughters: Rena, J. Marie, and Elizabeth Moore Stump, and 4 sons: Archie Jr., Hardy, Anthony, and D'Angelo. The marriage of Archie Moore and Elizabeth Thornton produced Archie Jr. and Elizabeth. In 1956, he married Joan Hardy and had 5 children: Rena, J. Marie, Hardy, Anthony, and D'Angelo. They were married until his death in 1998. Moore joined the Seventh-day Adventist Church later in life. In 1997, J. Marie Moore became the first daughter of a famous boxer to herself become a professional boxer. Okay? Archie Moore's daughter was the first daughter of a famous boxer to herself become a professional boxer. Because I think later Ali became professional in 1998. Muhammad's daughter did. So his daughter was the first one of a famous boxer to take up the occupation. Archie Moore died of heart failure in 1998. He was cremated and is interred in a niche at Cypress View Mausoleum and Crematory, San Diego. The mongoose, Archie Moore. There you have it. I learned a few things. Yeah. Trained George Foreman against Muhammad Ali. Then he fought Muhammad Ali. And by the way, tomorrow's profile will be Gene Tunney. Okay? Gene Tunney. Okay. Now, let's see what's happening. Excuse me for 1 minute. It says Devin Haney Shining Spider of the Year. I don't think he was going to get it anyway. My pick is the Monster. And Deontay Wilder reclaim his killer instinct. What y'all think? Kenny? Yeah, you're right, Jay. Yes. Gotta watch what you eat, especially when you get older and up in age, you know. Archie made it to 84, though. He lived to be 84 years old. So, yeah. I want to talk about this Deontay Wilder for a minute. Deontay said he's got to get his killer instinct back, okay, that he once had, following his timid, lackluster performance in his one-sided loss to fringe heavyweight. I wouldn't call Joe Parker no fringe heavyweight contender, no. Now, a lot of fans think that Wilder is finished physically and mentally and needs to hang up the gloves. I don't think so. No. The man's 38 years old and the man hadn't fought. But, yeah, he needs a confidence fight, Jay. And they hadn't fought in what? 1 round in over 2 years. And then you fight the guy, Joe Parker was in his 4th fight of the year. Come on, man, it makes a difference. He was a very inactive fighter fighting a very active fighter. I think he can be okay. Plus, the Saudis said that they wanted to put on that fight anyway, Wilder and AJ. But it looks like AJ is getting cold feet. Looks like AJ is getting cold feet. Oh, I lost my train of thought. I'm going to drop the link in there. Anybody want to come chop it up can come chop it up. Got a little while to go, about 40 more minutes. I'm going to roll till 4 o'clock today. And David Morrell. I know everybody would like to see him fight David Benavidez next, but it just don't look like that's going to happen. I would like to see him fight Christian and Billy. That would be a good fight. But they're both young stars, and they're not going to put them in there. You think he needs to work on his footwork? Boxing Menu podcast? That's interesting. That is very interesting. Yeah, give him a cab driver, and he will be fine, Jay. You're right. Give him a cab driver. AJ or retire. That's what Remo says. AJ or retire. Okay, I'm working on this link. AJ's getting cold feet, Remo. That's what I hear. Bear with me for 1 second. We've been having some fire panels this week, so I'm going to try to get this in there early because we got to cut it off at 4. Hurt me to my heart yesterday. We was going strong. Hurt me to my heart. Had to cut it off. Where's B3 today? StreamYard. I can't walk in too long. Okay. Give me one more second. I think Ant is in here. He was in here. He's gonna come up here and get me about the he was talking about the coming out of Japan and fighting. Okay, there it is. I think this is it. Let's see. Let me make sure. There it is. Bet the farm on that lake. Okay, now who is that? Hale Kulani. What's up, Hale Kulani? But I hope I didn't butcher your name too bad. Hale Kulani is in the building. Salute, Hale Kulani. He says, rich friends only. H money over. Pound money over everything. Waller versus AJ a must. Yeah, I agree with you, Hale Kulani. How are you today? Welcome to the JBT community. Yeah. I would still watch Waller vs. AJ. Okay, there's the link. Anybody want to come chop it up, come chop it up. Just make sure you hit the like button too, please. That really helps. I've been averaging around 20. A record is 33. I haven't come anywhere near that lately, but I'm going to get back up there eventually. We are growing slowly but surely. We got Hale Kulani in the building for the first time. Welcome aboard Cat Sports. I'm a member of the JBT, Pound JBT community. Just boxing talk. There's Bruce Gas. My buddy Bruce Gas in the building. What's up, Bruce Gas? You missed the Archie Moore. Bruce, you missed the Mongoose profile, bro. Oh, man. I know you down with the Mongoose. Bruce Gas. That's right, Jay, Upward Mobility. Salute to Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. Okay? All that and more. Yep. And tomorrow it will be Gene Tunney. Gene Tunney will be the profile tomorrow. See, I'm doing all these, the older boxers from that era first, then I work my way on up. I had to slip Roberto Duran in there yesterday, though, because that's one of my favorites. After Muhammad Ali. Yeah, Javante Davis. We are very familiar with him. But after Muhammad Ali, Roberto Duran is my favorite fighter of all time. Yeah. Abdul Walid is the future GOAT. Y'all sleeping on dude. That's what Hale Kulani thinks. Abdul Walid. Who is that? Abdul Walid. Is that Tank? New name? Abdul Walid. That's Tank's new name, right? Yeah. You're right. Hale Kulani. He's the face of boxing right now. Nobody can dispute it. I hope that link is right. Where's Thomas Hill? Al Booger. What's the guy's name? Bare Knuckles. Very Finest. Where's all these people at? Haven't been in the hangout in the morning lately either. You know how you used to seeing people and then all of a sudden you stop seeing them. It's a little concerning sometimes, you know. Yeah, okay, Bruce Gas. I thought so. It's gonna take me a little while to get used to it. Yeah, when he said Abdul Wahid, I'm like, who is that? Yeah, that's Tank. I thought so. Right. I gotta get used to it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna write it down. Yeah, that's the old Tank. Abdul. Miss Joette in the building. Salute, Miss Joette. Just a little afternoon boxing talk, that's all. On a Thursday afternoon. How are you today? Yeah, he's AWOL. A little concerning, you know how you used to seeing people and then you don't. Jay, we know Dre disappears every now and then, so you know that's not that worrying because he'll pop back up. He's done it many times before, you know. So we expecting him to pop up at any time. Old Dre finest, you know. He'll just pop in one of our chats at any moment, like nothing never happened, like he never went anywhere. Yeah. We had a nice conversation yesterday about Friday of the year, training of the year, fight of the year, all that stuff, man. It's coming up on us. Yeah. Fast. And we will soon be finding out. Like we was talking about this morning in the hangout, I think Bomac, it's really not even a conversation about trainer of the year. That's Bomac hands down. Okay. Being boxing news today. Somebody is a troll. He will show up under another name. That ain't you, is it, Bare Knuckles? Hal Kalani. You ain't AKA Bare Knuckles, are you? Okay, I'm just checking. We got a guy, Bare Knuckles, with like 10 names. I'm just a rich brother passing through. Don't hate the play. Hate the game. Yeah. But it's all good. As long as you hit the like button, come on through. Okay? Troll all you want, just hit the like. And if you got another name, come back in on that one and hit the like again. I don't mind, you know. It's all good. What's up, Ant? Well. Okay. Yeah, I knew Ant was still in here. Yeah. If somebody want to troll, come in under all your identities. Just give me a like under each one of them. It's all good. There's Remo. What's up, Remo?
What's going on, big dog? What's going on?
Not too much. It's another afternoon of boxing talk, that's all. What's on your mind this time, Remo?
Ain't nothing much. I was just sitting here getting the encyclopedia boxing talk, you know.
Yeah, that's all we doing. Thursday afternoon version of it, that's all.
I definitely want to talk to you about that this heavyweight thing with Wilder, you know.
Okay. The floor is yours, bro.
These dudes eventually gotta get it together because the heavyweight division is dying. Slowly but surely, the ages of the dudes the names that we know, they just going further up, and ain't really no young blood coming in at their division for people to really care about the heavyweight division moving forward.
Yeah, we got the what do you call himself? The new big baby or the real big baby, Jared Anderson. But that's just one guy, right?
He seems like he don't even really want to be in the sport for long. So if you're saying the next, who's gonna carry, you know, boxing in the heavyweight division for the next 10 years?
Yeah, because he's talking about 3 years.
Yeah, people gave Wilder a lot of hate, and you know that dude, for as long as he defended that belt and had that belt, he was the one really carrying the flag for the heavyweight division. Fury came around afterward. He was doing coke and partying and drinking, and you know what I mean, all of that. He caught a second chance.
We had a few guys on there this weekend, like Carver Yell and what was the other guy name? Hergovic.
But those
how old are they?
It don't matter. They're not names that attract you to the casuals for them to check shit out. Like, you know.
maybe they got to work on them, and the Saudis are trying. They put like a highlight on the heavyweight division. They trying.
Yeah, but on Saturday in America, Saturday 6:00, 7:00,
right.
8:00.
Good point.
That ain't the time for attraction. Like that's it matters. That all of that matters, man, to me.
Yeah, they coming on 11:00 in the morning. That's not good. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Another issue I got with them is that these big dudes, they picking and choosing who they really want to fight. The Saudis are making them fight, granted, but these dudes get paid a higher minimum than all other divisions.
True.
Based on their weight division alone. And from what we're seeing, they're not as skilled as the little guys, and you know what I mean. And the future of boxing is in the little guys, so
yeah, it is.
They don't really have enough time to really be saying, picking and choosing, and Andy Ruiz pricing himself out and all of that shit. It's like nobody's caring right now.
And as boxing go, as heavyweight division go, that's how boxing goes. Yeah. But you think that's changing? The little divisions are taking over?
Yeah, I think so. This year all depends on the outcome of this rematch with Spence and Crawford. If Spence can make it look like something, whether he wins or loses, or he does win and they get a trilogy out of it and get another paycheck on the back end, the people will love and appreciate that to another level. And then you'll follow that up with, what Prime does with the following fighters and how they promote it and how they present it to the people.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We got Tank coming up early this year, so he's the face of boxing, and some potential good fights coming up. Boots, T.O. Devin. So it's not that bad. But you're right about the heavyweight division.
No, I don't think it's bad, but I just think me growing up, being in the boxing young, you have a Mike Tyson. He's so controversial. He's a big personality. Muhammad Ali, he was great on talking on the mic. So it's something that drew you to these guys, whether it be controversial and crazy, but Mike always had quotables that even we remember today, whether it be good or bad.
Yeah, still talking about it. You're right.
Yeah, we don't really get that from much people. Even Tank might be the face, or I wouldn't say the face. I would say more like the most popular right now.
Right.
He doesn't give a lot of quotables. He isn't accessible.
No, he doesn't.
So it's so that really matters when you're like a superstar,
Yeah, that's true. That's a great point. Yep. That's a great point. But what? Oh, go ahead, Remo.
I think boxing is just so isolated these days that the inactivity causes people to really forget big moments. Like Crawford, there's no reason Crawford shouldn't have had something else after that fight. Whether whether it be he beat the brains off of somebody else, or he go up and take that fight against what's my man name?
Canelo.
No, not Canelo.
Oh,
the 154 champion.
Oh, Jamel.
One of them. They just needed something to have followed that up, because it was a great performance.
Yeah.
And he has a good argument, but people forget when it's not, as recent as it could be.
But see, Spence activated his rematch clause, so he couldn't do anything else, really.
But if he went up if he went up to 54, and he went after, the belts still would have been there.
That's
and
right.
He
He could have
fighting
went
at
up.
47 either.
But then Jamel went up there and fought Canelo, and so that threw him and Crawford off. But I still want to see that Crawford and Jamel. Yeah.
He could have fought Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu don't turn nothing down but his collar.
That's what BN Boxing News said. Tim Tszyu. Yep.
Yeah. I didn't even see that, but I think he could have went up there and fought him, and had a great performance against him, you like it's no hands down that he's fight of the year, even though he had a shutout performance against somebody who's top 5 and arguably top 3 in a lot of people's eyes prior to the fight. But it's like, what else? That's why you give an opportunity for a monster, whether it be he never came to America, none of that, to have a conversation about being, boxer of the year.
Yeah. But do you think Crawford was chasing the bag trying to get the Canelo fight? That's why he didn't do anything else after Earl, like Mel or Zoo or anybody. He was trying too hard for the Canelo fight. Did that have something to do with it?
I think it's more or less that he actually came over to PBC and see how real money is made.
Okay.
So he kind of was trying to place himself. So he was here chasing the bag, but I think he was trying to get what's been owed to him for all of these years.
Yeah.
Because you can't be pound for pound on everybody's list currently, do this, do that, but you've never been paid like that. Your numbers is not that. Your name is not that. So that's why you've seen him on a lot of like interviews after that, and talking his shit after that. So it's like he's trying to put his name and get his profile higher. So calling out Canelo, whether he was going to get it or not, he had to do something like Benavidez did. Like, I'm talking about it, but while I'm talking about it, I'm still showing you, like, these other dudes can't mess with me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, Canelo, what's his name? Said Canelo's fighting Charlo or Munguia. Yeah, or Crawford.
See, Canelo's the other situation. Canelo is trying to reserve his bag. Because if he goes out and he fights somebody that's risky, he loses. That'll be his third loss. And the crowd won't be checking for it. Remember, he's already got so all his money is the crowd being
attracted Remo?
To fight.
You was fading a little bit, Remo.
You get me?
Yeah, you back now. Yeah, you good.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that Canelo already got that upfront 3-fight deal, so that money is cemented for the amount upfront that he was getting. His issue is now the attraction that the public has on the pay-per-view buys. If he takes a loss in return now,
that's it.
Yeah, they're not going to be purchasing at the clip that he would be anticipating, and the money go down.
Yeah. So he still got 2 fights left on the deal, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
If
I'm him,
what's the chance? Yeah.
If I'm him, I'm gonna take whoever's calling me out. Like, other than David Benavidez, I'll take a less risky fight. If I want to bring somebody up again that wants to dare to be great with the air quotes in the air, because I'm not agreeing to it, but I'd fight somebody like, not David Morrell. I wouldn't do that either.
Nah, he ain't fighting Morrell.
But I'm gonna have like a less risky touch. I don't know a name to per se right now, but I'm just talking as a businessman.
That's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, as my third fight now, I take on somebody like David Benavidez or David Morrell. Right?
That's what I was thinking.
I'd implement a rematch clause, but the rematch clause would be my 4th fight now. So now you got to pay me an additional outside of that contract,
right,
for me to get another bag. You feel me?
You have a rematch clause on the 3rd fight, right?
Exactly, but the money that I'm locked in for was already be depleted. So now you have to negotiate a deal for a rematch, which I already got a rematch clause guaranteed for.
That's right. Yeah. That's smart. That's what I was thinking. Benavidez or somebody like that would be the 3rd fight. Which I think it will be. Yeah.
He's on his last leg though. Like, he really don't have nothing to prove.
No, he don't. Not at all. How old is
Canelo?
About 33? 34?
30, he got a lot of mileage on him. That's the only problem for him.
Yeah. Because he got 60 something, almost 60 fights, right?
Yeah, like people shit on him for his European tour, but that was
Mm-hmm.
all set up by the Zone, because the Zone
Yeah.
they more into the European thing. They paid him a lot of money, so he really didn't care who was in front of him. And I think that the Zone, believe it or not, was the first deal outside of the Oscar situation. So a majority of that money came to him, so he didn't really give a shit.
No, he don't care. He getting paid.
Yeah,
He's not worrying about what people saying. I don't blame him.
yeah.
I'm one of the ones that's complaining, but Canelo don't care.
See, moving forward though, my biggest concern is kind of what's the direction for Boots? Because Boots is not really a young guy with a lot of fights,
Mm-hmm.
and he hasn't been given the green light to become a star, but he has star-like
Right.
talent. So it's
Yeah,
like
no,
who's
that's a
lining
good
up
question.
with, yeah, like what's going on there?
I don't have no idea who his next fight will be. Nobody won't fight him. I think he needs to go at the 54. They'll fight him up there at 54.
But now that them belts are scattered, what happened to the ones, the rest of them? He got one of them. Where the rest of them at currently?
Did Crawford vacate all of them?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he released them all.
Yeah. But like you were saying, you said you made the statement that Tim Tszyu would fight anybody. Boots should go on up to 54, fight somebody like that, you know?
It's two nice fights for him at 54 already. It's Tim Tszyu.
Yeah.
And if Virgil looks good, his first fight out, because Virgil fighting 2 weeks or something like that.
Yep, January 6th, 2 weeks.
That's something you could look at.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whatever happened to what's the guy that fought Charlo? That he went to war.
Oh
with?
Yeah, Castano. I always wonder about that. Castano.
Yeah, like that was a real tough out, and that guy was tough. But that would be a great test for Boots. That would be a test fight for Boots.
I don't know what happened to Castano. Nobody does. I've been asking people, but nobody does, man. That's strange, ain't it?
He probably took a beating, man, because he got hit cross-eyed, man. Standing up when he took a seat himself. He ain't really even get knocked out. He just.
But that was in 22 last year, right? 22.
Yeah.
It's been over a year.
Let's see, listen, man. Sometimes you just make enough money where you can be like,
yeah,
I'm good.
Because that knockout, that stoppage, it didn't seem all that bad where he would need to be out all this time, you know?
No, he got stopped on his feet, man.
Yeah.
The second. I mean like literally, like he had like a delayed reaction on that knockout.
Yeah, he did.
His brain was probably shook up bad, something bad, man.
Yeah.
But I think that would be something nice for Boots to get into. Yeah. Because 47, right. I don't know what's really left down there. He got the belt. Unless he defends it once and said, like, I'm gonna take this and call somebody up in the next division. But all the smoke is kind of moving away from him. We still don't know if Keith Thurman is a fighter or he's gonna be a commentator for
I know.
We don't know.
I think Keith is done. I think he's done. He's not fighting anymore. When was the last time he fought? Was it Barrios?
Barrios, and then Barrios' name kind of mean. Barrios and Boots would be nice, man.
Yeah, he'll fight Boots. He about the only. Conor Benn said he would. Who would you rather see, Boots versus Barrios or Boots versus Conor Benn?
Shit. Can I have both? You can have both.
Yeah.
I'll take Conor Benn first, and then I'll take Barrios. I'll let Barrios fight somebody like what's that? Crowley's in that division, right? Cody Crowley?
Yeah, Crowley's in there. Cody Crowley, yeah.
I'll let him fight him, and then I'll let Boots fight him after.
Yeah, because I heard Cody Crowley turned down the Boots fight. Yeah. Stanionis is in there too. Don't forget Stanionis. Yeah.
Stanionis is with who? With Golden Boy?
I'm not sure. He was getting ready to fight Virgil though.
If that's the
I'm
case,
not sure.
he's with Gold. If he's with Golden Boy don't let their fighters fight nobody with a name. Regardless,
Mm,
that's why
yeah,
what's the name had to fight so damn hard to get Tank Ryan.
I know.
Because
That's a protection of a
Golden
couple.
Boy always takes the step aside money for his fighters, man.
Yeah. So he must be, because Stanionis took step aside for I think he did it twice. I know he did it when Earl fought Ugas.
He getting paid. He getting paid not to
Yeah,
fight though, man. I
not to
can't
fight.
even be. I can't even be mad at him for that though. You know what I mean?
Be in boxing news say Keith retired. He's done. That's what I think. Yeah.
Officially,
That's what I think.
officially, unofficially.
I think it's unofficially. I haven't heard anything about him officially retiring.
He might as well have announced that last year because all of that woofing he was doing.
He might as well announce it because I agree, he's done. He's not fighting anymore. I like what Jay said though. Boots go over there and fight Conor Benn. Them UK fans would love him, man. They see Boots.
He can't though. He can't
Why not?
go. He can't because he's still suspended out there.
Is he in the UK?
Yeah, that's why he fought in.
Oh man,
he fought in Florida because of that the PED thing.
Yeah, and he got a fight coming up, don't he? Over here.
If he does, it got to be here.
Yeah, it is over here. That's why. Okay.
Yeah, he did some under the table thing. Like Conor Benn, it would be a good fight, but you know, I think Jay's saying that because his profile would look so good.
Yeah.
In the UK to grow his audience.
Yeah.
But he can't get it out there. I don't know if they can get something around there. That's you know what I mean. That would make a little bit more sense, but you know.
Yeah, I didn't know he was still suspended. Wow. Man. Yeah. But he can fight over here.
Yeah, he can.
That's crazy.
Eddie Hearn got enough money to make something happen. You know.
Okay. Being boxing news says that Keith is retired unofficially. Okay. Yeah, because I know I didn't hear anything, but I don't think Keith Thurman is fighting anybody else. He may as well go ahead and announce it.
You know,
and standing on this.
The thing with this guy Thurman was such a great talent, but I think his ego got so big because it's like, all right, I think him getting the opportunity to fight Pacquiao might have been the worst thing.
Worst thing for him.
Because it wasn't a bad fight. He just
it wasn't. It wasn't a bad performance. But when you set the perception of somebody early, it's hard to remember that, like unremember that. So they seen an old Pacquiao dropping him, and that was the narrative throughout the whole damn fight moving forward. Yeah,
just like
first round
with Tio and Kambosos. Tio fought his ass off the rest of that fight, but the way he was getting beat up early, it kind of gauged the direction of that fight.
And that's what people remember too. You're right from that fight.
So for him coming back, taking a long layoff and beating up Barrios, we forgot Barrios' face even looked messed up like it was. Worse than when he fought Tank and got stopped. But nobody cared. And to the point now, Barrios' name means more in the division than Keith. And that's crazy. With one loss. Barrios has 2 losses.
Yeah. But Barrios showing he'll fight anybody though, you know? Yeah.
And he got a country. Even though I think he's from Texas though, right? But he got a country, the Mexican.
Barrios is from Texas, I believe so.
Yeah, with the Mexicans love him.
Promoted by? Who is Barrios promoted by?
He's an Al Heyman fighter.
Al Heyman, okay.
Yeah, he's a PBC
and
guy.
He I think he might be Boots' next fight too.
His coach said that. His coach is with
He's
him.
with Virgil. What's his name? Virgil.
No, he's not with him anymore. He's with.
He isn't. Okay. Wow.
No, they split ways.
Leave him.
2 fights now. They wouldn't see eye to eye, I believe. But he's with what's the guy that's coached by? He coaches Hector Garcia.
Okay. Oh, Bob Santos.
Santos, correct.
Yeah.
Santos.
Okay. Bob Santos.
But I think Santos was I think he was his coach prior to him being with Virgil, and then he
Oh, he was?
kind of
Okay.
just got it because he was in the corner during that fight too against Tank, but Virgil
Oh,
was
Bob
the
Santos
main
was?
coach. Yeah, he was.
Okay.
I think he was the cut man for that fight though. So he was
Yeah, I
good.
like Bob Santos. Yeah.
He talks shit like a black man.
I know he do. Yeah. He was going back and forth with Breadman after that J-Rock.
Right. Oh yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Breadman was complaining about the stoppage, and Bob Santos was saying something back to him. Yeah.
Cause I think he's Spanish or something like that too.
Yeah, he talk shit. Yep, he sure does.
I like that. I like it.
Yeah, I do too.
Talk shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
So sometimes being humble ain't enough. You gotta let them know what they did to you. You know.
You know, Shacky, I think I was talking to you about this before. I think it was you. Oh, Shacky, I was hoping he would fight one of those other champions, but he's fighting somebody else. I think it's in February. I was hoping he would fight Lamont Roach or Cordina or one of those guys at 130.
Nah, he just got a new deal. He got a new deal too. He's with Top
fighting
Rank.
somebody else. With who?
He's with
Top Rank. That's right. Yeah, Top Rank.
So Top Rank, they don't, they try to
they don't do that.
Protect their investments, at least first one in.
Because who's the other guy at 130? It's Oshaki, Lamont Roach, Joe Cordina, and I think the other guy is with Top Rank. Navarrete? No. What's the guy that just beat Oscar Valdez? Was it Navarrete?
I believe so.
Yeah, he's with Top Rank, right?
Top Rank like that 130 division. He like that.
Yeah, so they wasn't gonna put him and Oshaki in it together because that's both their fighters. Yeah. Nah. They wasn't gonna do it. Yeah. But I was hoping he would.
Is Monster a Top Rank fighter or?
I think so.
Yeah.
He's always on ESPN all the time. Yeah.
I think so. Works, man. Because he could get him some money in the U.S. Because, I know. He could get him some money out here.
Yes, he could.
I really
because I still think he would do the same thing anywhere. Fight. He's the goods, man. He would still be the same fighter.
Bob is a real piece of shit. I'm telling you. That guy, he hides the talent so well to the point where it's like he's doing enough for them, but not enough to make them a star.
Yeah, I know.
Like he had this big circus act in the Matrix, Loma. He's the next coming to die. He spoke about him like he was Evel Knievel, but he never put him in the stage in the limelight to make him a superstar.
No, he didn't. Mm-mm.
He gave him he gave him opportunities to win medals, but to become a star, he never put him on pay-per-view.
Never did.
There's no way in hell that George Kambosos had all them belts and he didn't just let it wait. He didn't just let him wait, whether it be a war or not.
Now that Loma versus Devin was the first time he was ever on pay-per-view, wasn't it?
Yeah.
First, that's hard to believe, but wow. Yeah. Yeah. And oh yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. You have any? I think on Jay's show he was talking about Shakur. His next fight will be the last one with Top Rank. Mm-hmm. But should he leave him? But you have any thoughts about that?
From what I'm seeing, because I like looking at the numbers and what makes sense moving forward in life. I think all of these boxers should do exactly what Canelo is doing what Bud is doing.
Yeah.
Even what Devin is doing. 3 fight deals.
Yeah.
No.
Makes sense.
Because it's basically you betting on yourself. That's one.
That makes sense too. Yeah.
2, and it's not locking you into 6 and 7 fight deals where you could fall out of grace.
That's the part I like.
Promoter, you fall out of grace of a promoter, i.e. Gary Russell, and you fighting once a year. So you in a 6 fight deal, but you're getting 1 fight a year. That means you in there for 6 years. And I see you when I see you.
Time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's not like I should say like Big Baby. if Big Baby, the little Big Baby, he
Right.
just fought 45,000 times last year.
Yeah, no.
Like, and nobody gave a shit.
Nope.
He's not getting no big opportunities. He's just staying busy, padding his stats. But you get these kids in 3, maybe 4 fights minimum deals, and then you know what I mean. They still could control the narrative of their career.
That's the part I like right there. Yeah, you're not locked into those long-term deals. You know.
Cause my thing is, in any sport,
More freedom.
when you locked in long-term deals, they call you a franchise player, but you get paid like a franchise player. These dudes can't even get a certain guarantee. Like, I feel bad for somebody like Tio. Tio remind me
like
of
Tio.
Broner. Yeah, Tio like Broner. Broner got no soft touches.
I know.
Tio at the point where he can't really get a big paycheck, but he's willing to call out the big names because he's trying to build his profile to where he could get paid. But we don't even know how many fights he got left for him to even negotiate something new. So now, let's say his next fight is his last fight, and he wins. He has done enough to garnish a good conversation about a higher pay.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. Yeah.
That's the change that Shakur. But Shakur has the ball in his hand because he knows where the name fighters is. He know where the money is. He know that his talent is pay-per-view-esque if developed properly.
So if he goes back to Top Rank, you would advise him to do like a 3-fight deal, like Devin did, or something like that.
If he goes back to Top Rank, he might be a damn fool.
Yeah, just get away from them altogether.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta see, and like I said, bet on yourself and know the type of talent that you are, how you should be promoted.
Where would he go? Top Rank got a lot of the fighters in his division is over there. But and then if he leaves, Bob ain't gonna give him none of them. Bob ain't gonna deal with him. You know.
He could go to PBC right now and be fine.
Okay.
Because as much as Gary be talking Tank, and he say he ain't fighting at 26 no more. If Gary want to stay busy, you got a new fighter, new fighter on the roster. Gary, go ahead, we pay you. Fight Shakur. There's Pitbull over there. There's Frank over there.
Yeah.
There's options for him that's not named Tank.
Yeah.
Ryo and Shakur would make a decent fight.
Yes, it would. That'd be a good comeback fight for him, Ryo.
You don't know what's left. You don't know what's left for Hector. Hector could lie and be like, "Oh, I'm just no good at 30 anymore. I'm a big guy. I need to be at 35." He could fight him at 30. Yeah. Hector Garcia. He could fight him.
Tank might have done something to him. Remember, he was sitting on the stool saying he can't see. He didn't look nothing like himself in that fight against Roach, man. Not the Hector that fought Colbert or the other guy at 130. I don't know what was wrong with Hector. He wouldn't let his hands go. He was just waiting the whole fight, trying to counter. It was crazy. I said, what the Tank? Tank took something out of this guy.
He took something or took a few years off of him.
Yeah, man. But we'll see. He's in his next fight, he might still be okay. Yeah.
From what's been told or what's been rumored around is that Top Rank is up for sale, so that hopefully they could negotiate to end this side of the street talk and bring things closer together. So where
this talk going around that they had some kind of deal with Prime going on. Yeah, a few people have been saying that too. Top Rank. If that wouldn't be a bad move.
But they just need to get Bob out the way.
I know. That's the thing. Get the Bob father gone.
Yeah, that's the problem. He's so hell bent on the way boxing's been for the last 50 years. He's not willing to change anything.
Right. He's in that generation, that age where, he's setting his ways, and it's just going to be the way he wanted to be because he's the man. He's the boss. So you're right. They need to get him going.
He's almost 100 years old, man.
I know.
He does not care about the growth of the sport at all. He has
Not at all.
no vested interest on. He's on overtime right now.
Absolutely.
He cares nothing about the future of boxing.
Not at all.
He's just padding his generational wealth for his family.
That's all he's doing. That's it. Yeah. So maybe this new deal coming along, he might still have something to do with Top Rank, but maybe he's gonna hand the reins over to somebody or something. Hopefully, that would be good.
Even if he walked though, I wouldn't say he'd walk away, but he could still be an advisor behind the scenes.
Right. Something like that. Yeah. Yeah. I think that might be what's going on with him.
That's fine. You're 90-some years old. You don't really want to be the person to have to go and fly over the world and have media day and microphones in your face and all. I wouldn't deal with that at 90-some years old.
No, me neither.
I don't want to deal with it now.
I hear you, Remo. But Remo, it's getting to be that time, man. I appreciate you 1,000%, man. You've been getting some good cooks this week. It was just me and you today, but it still was a nice fire cook, man. And I need to stop that. I don't want to hear that casual stuff no more, neither.
Yeah, Jay told me stop playing with the casual talk. So
stop playing, man.
But yeah,
okay, Remo. Appreciate you, bro. We'll do it again.
Yes, sir.
All right. Another Cast Sports in the books. I appreciate everybody once again. Let me run it down. Miss Joette, Bruce Gads, Hale Kulani. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Mrs. Cast Sports Better Half, or Victoria Thomas. All three of them is the same person. Jay Hardcore was in the building. The Boxing Menu Podcast, BN Boxing News, always in the building. Appreciate you 100,000%, bro. Lonnie Lee, I hope you're away from that red light by now, Lonnie Lee. Hope you wasn't parked there listening. Attentive Aunt McQueen, appreciate you, bro. Tim Layton, JBT, salute. Appreciate you, Tim Layton. Gregory Pratt, GP was in the building. The Rise Podcast came into the building today. Honored to have them aboard. The Boxing Hub, iBoxing Hub, right? Came in for the first time. We saw him in the hangout this morning for the first time. New to the JBT community. His first time, but I hope he comes back. And the guy that came up and helped me on the panel today, Remo. Appreciate you 1,000%, Remo. And I appreciate everybody that continues to support my small channel. But you already know, you got to be small before you can be big, right? Cast Sports, y'all.